Hey guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Kia EV9 long range.
And a big thanks to David at Century Kia in Tampa, Florida for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and that's for David.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the EV9 is Kia's all-new luxury 3-row electric SUV, sort of functioning as a rear-wheel drive based electric alternative to the Telluride with far more thrilling available powertrains. Until the top-performing 576 horsepower GT model hits the ground later this year, the 2024 EV9 is available in 5 trims and 4 power plants. The top 3 trims, which are the Wind, Land, and GT line, get the dual motor, 379 horsepower, 443 pound-foot of torque setup, which also includes, of course, all-wheel drive that's available for the Wind and the Land, and the GT line gets a little bit more torque at 379 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. The GT line can get 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. The trims below get there in around 5 seconds, and the entry-level trims that we have here are a little bit slower. The base power plant is on the light. It cranks out 215 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque with about 230 miles of total range. Here, we have the light long range, which makes a little bit less horsepower, 201 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, but it has a lot more range at 304. The light only has 230 miles of range. The light long range can charge 213 miles in 24 minutes with a fast charge. With a $58,000 base price, what else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So since we have the light long range, we also get more features both in the interior and exterior compared to the light. Starting with the lights, they're a way more high quality LED with a 4-piece projector for the middle bulbs and a dual projector for the regular beam LED daytime running light too. I kind of wish the runner continued for the bottom part of this grille area, but other than that, no complaints. Full front parking sensing, we get active shutters for the lower grille area. We'll take a step back, hopefully you pick up the front end on this all-new 2024 EV9. We get a Kia badge, updated Kia badge on the grille, and this beautiful metallic silver paint color. Hopefully you guys can pick up the sparkles in the Florida sun. The wheel and tire setup, we get these basically flat 19-inch trims. The shape, the flatness is for aerodynamics. Wrapped in Kumho Crujin EV specific all-season tires. Dimensions are 255/60 R19. So the 255 wide tires, it's only rear-wheel drive, but it should be more than enough to put this 201 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque to the ground. But these 60 series sidewall tires should keep this ride quality really plush. I like the center cap hiding your 5-lug pattern, and the overall color contrast is nice. You can barely even see the brake caliper. Very unique overall style. Get some plastic cladding for the wheel well area, continuing for the rocker panel side skirt with some aluminum trim in the center. All black trim for the window trim, blacked out A, B, and C pillar with some aluminum trim underneath. We get smart access for the driver and a front passenger. Body color mirror with black contrast LED turn signal on it with blind spot monitoring on the glass. You have the same rear wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper. The plastic cladding continues. Pretty aggressive rear spoiler. That's where your rear wiper is being housed with a shark fin style antenna. No moonroof, but it is available on the higher trims. From this angle right over here, I see a lot of resemblance to the Telluride, but outside of that, the only similarities are just the larger 3-row SUV. We get an LED daytime runner for the taillights, LED turn signal and reverse light, EV9 badge in the corner, Kia badge in the center. Other than that, it's a little bit plain of a rear styling. I wish there was a little bit more action out here. I understand you're not going to have any exhaust tips, but you know what I mean. I wish there was a little bit more color contrast here and there. We get an LED third brake light up top too. We mentioned that's where the wiper's being housed. Full rear parking sensing, and since we don't have exhaust tips, let's pop open the front and I'll catch right back with you. All right guys, to access the front, you have 2 choices. You can either take this cover off and pull this latch twice, which is what I did just now, but I also just realized that you don't need to do that. There's a much easier way. You simply double click this button right up top and the front opens right up. So let's hop over to the side and see what we got going on underneath this front. So here we go. We get a cargo net and a button, so if you somehow manage to fit a human being in here, they can click the button and escape out of here. You got your fluids, air filter replacement, all can be open and accessed. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much space is in this cubby. I'd expect you to fit 2 or 3 carry-on suitcases and probably 5, possibly 6 backpacks. It's a pretty spacious frunk. Hydraulic struts. We can shut this frunk right down, walk around this 2024 Kia EV9 one more time. Let's take a step inside and see what we get with a sub $60,000 base price, and I'll tell you right now, we get a lot. Soft touch door panel, heated and ventilated seats, aluminum separating the 2 tiers, aluminum grab handle, 4-window auto 1 touch, Power folding mirrors, lock and unlock, child locks, gushy soft armrests, and a decent amount of storage down below. We get 2 speakers on the door panel, although they're not brand labeled. Compared to the Bose system from the 2024 Sorento X Pro SX Prestige we just reviewed in this channel, this system sounds no worse, maybe even better. We mentioned the heated and ventilated seats. It gets a cloth headrest, which is super soft. I kind of wish more manufacturers actually did that. We have very solid bolstering too. Synthetic leather, not genuine leather, but you could have fooled me. Feels, smells, and just looks just like the real thing. We have full adjustments, lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So since it's an EV, everything's already fired up. We get a thick steering wheel. It's a pretty funky shape, just like on the EV6, but the 10-2 bolstering notch is solid. 9-3 fits perfect in your hand. Horn area is rubberized. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. We do get dual panes on a sub $60,000 base price. On the left side, we have our infotainment adjustments, radar cruise control, and lane keep assist. On the right side, we can hang up and answer our phone calls, volume and skip, voice commands, AM, FM, and Sirius, and favorites. Speaking of infotainment adjustments, right now we're looking at advanced safety features. The brake lights respond with your actual foot, traffic sign recognition up top, lane keep assist. You can press this button, transition into the current trip, after charging, since last reset, range guide, and tire pressure. Cool. Press it one more time. No route set. Press it one more time. Right back to where we started. Digital speed on the left side. Charging information on the right. Temperature outside down below. Regenerative braking. Total mileage. And that's about it. The stocks have a satisfying click. We don't get the blind spot cameras here. Unfortunately, it is available on the higher trims. Auto headlamps, auto high beams, and auto rain sensing wipers. All appreciated for the price point. Our gear selector on the right side. This button right over here turns on the battery. You have your actual gear selector right next to it. It's a single speed transmission and park right up front. We'll do a quick check out of the backup camera. High resolution, guidance lines and trajectory, front and rear parking sensing, but we do not get a 360, just sensors for the park or for the front and rear. Throw it back in the park though, we return right back to the screen we previously were in, and the parking brake automatically gets engaged, which should save your transmission a little bit in the long term. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel to the left. We have our traction control you can disable, parking brake, electronic. You can press and hold to open up your trunk, double click to open up your frunk, and you get your charge port that you can open up with the click of a button. Interior brightness, hopefully you get a good look at your pedals. The dashboard is all soft touch materials except for the actual frame of it. The front of it is soft touch, the frame is hard plastic. The touchscreen, in between the 2 screens, so in between the digital gauge display and the infotainment display is your climate control display, where you have driver only, you have the sync, vent controls, all of that, but the hard buttons are available for the heated and ventilated seats. Big thumbs up from me. We check out this map. Response is excellent. Kia and Hyundai have been making some of the best screens for the last 5 to 10 years, and this updated screen is 100% no exception. Definitely one of the best in the business. You guys can see everything else that's potentially available. You can see the weather, phone projection, wireless Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto, but my personal favorite screen to leave it at would be the map. Beneath that, we get shortcuts, home, map, search, media, favorites, and setup. It looks a little bit basic. I really do wish they gave us hard buttons, but at least they gave us hard buttons for the temperature and vent controls. Again, huge thumbs up to Kia. If I've been saying Hyundai, I'm sorry guys. Huge thumbs up to Kia for that. Hazards in the center, volume dial 2, air vents in between it, 2 USB-C ports, 12 volt, 180 watt, and a decent amount of storage down below as well. Hopefully you pick it up on camera. You could probably fit a couple grocery bags down over there. Wireless phone charging pad, sensor, 2 cup holders. You'll fit 24-ounce bottle in here, maybe a 32 behind it. Nice spot for keys, nice spot for a phone. Auto hold for the electronic parking brake, hill descent control. You can turn off the parking sensors, and you can access the camera at all times. It's only a rear view camera. We do not get a front facing. Wireless phone charger, pretty soft armrest. We can check out the storage space. Really not the most, not a whole lot at all. But underneath all of this, as you guys saw, there is quite a bit. Glove box, you have this padded trim right above it. You can open it up. It is damped and massive. This is one of the largest glove boxes in the business. You'll probably stack 40 or 50 license plates in there. You'll probably fit 2 or 3 pairs of shoes. This is an absolutely massive size glove box. You have an auto dimming, frameless rear view mirror with 3 garage home link settings on it. The interior lights are touch sensitive and LED. We had a pretty premium feeling padded headliner too. It's not suede or Alcantara, but a lot more premium compared to what you would normally get from the Kia lineup. You press this button to access all of the lights with the click of a button. You can also turn that feature off, Kia Connect and SOS. That's about it though, guys, for the front seat of this 2024 Kia EV9. It is a beautiful SUV for the price point, especially. Out back, we check out the materials. We get soft touch up top, more aluminum to separate the two tiers, aluminum door handle, auto one-touch window, gushy soft armrest with some additional storage. One speaker on the door panel. The rear seats are captain chairs, two-tone contrast synthetic leather, perforated, not heated or ventilated, but still really comfortable. Fully adjustable, you can slide them and recline them. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So back here, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, and I still have about 6 inches of knee room, some soft-ish trim for the back of the seat. Pretty interesting. We'll see if the seat slides back any further. No, it does not, but the recline function goes way, way, way back. So when fully reclined, I have over a foot of knee room. We'll lift the seat rest back up, and now I still have about 2-3 inches of headroom. If I call that knee room, I'm all over the place right now, guys. Headroom in this vehicle is impressive, but so is the knee room. We get air vents to blow directly into our face, a separate third zone climate control too. You can adjust the front seats with hard buttons in case the front passenger is taking up too much of your space. And we get USB-C ports behind both the front seats, map pockets behind both of the front seats. A little bit of additional storage in there as well. I apologize for the glare. The sun's kind of beaming on this SUV right now. So we'll hurry up this back seat portion. The armrest back here also really soft, well located, and a pretty comfortable area to rest your arms in general. Let's hop out in the third row, see how much space is offered back there. Check out the cargo space and then take this car out for a drive. So to access the third row, just quite literally do exactly that. Take a seat, put the seat back, and I still have at least 2-3 inches of knee room, headroom, about an inch, maybe 2. If you're under 6'4", you'll sit in the third row of a Kia EV9 with no problem, which says a lot for an SUV that's not even technically categorized in the full-size segment. Anyway, 2 cup holders. You'll probably fit a tiny little cup back here, mostly for like car accessories and storage. And you'll fit a 24-ounce bottle in front of it, more car accessories and storage. USB-C port, additional speaker. Unfortunately, no controls for the third row climate, unlike the Santa Fe that we just reviewed in this channel, which was just an SEL trim at $37K, but we still get the air vents that blow directly into our face. Separate lights back here, 2. Just 2 seats, but in the midsize segment, we see a lot of SUVs that have 3 seats in the third row, but they're just about useless because you put 2 adults that weigh over 170 pounds in the third row, there's no chance anybody over 3 or 4 years old is going to fit in that middle seat. Anyway, that's about it for the third row. You press this button up top, and the seat shoots forward. We'll see what this latch does down here. Nope, just easier way to pull it back and forth. Cool. We'll hop out towards the cargo space, see how much space is offered back there with the third row up and with the third row down. But taking a step back here, underneath this trunk lid is a button, and it gives you a second to take a step back so you don't get doofed in the face with the electrically opening liftgate. So as you see, the step-in is pretty high. I mean, it is an EV, so you have the battery pack down here, but at 6 feet tall, a little bit over 6 feet tall, my knee is almost a foot below the step-in. So if you have older or smaller pets, they may have a relatively tougher time hopping back here. And also, since it's an EV, we don't get any secret storage. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much space is offered behind the third row, behind the second row, and with the second row folded down. Back here, you have this controls for the trunk opening, an additional 12 volt. You can drop the third row pretty easily with latches. We also have an additional AC outlet and electric controls to drop the second row seats. But as you see, it is spacious. I left the link so you guys can see exactly how much space is really offered back here. Loaded with space. We have 2 buttons to drop the liftgate. This button drops the liftgate, this button drops it and locks the SUV. We don't need a lock, so we'll press the first button. It gives you about 1 second to 2 seconds to get out of the way so you don't get doofed in the head. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new 2024 Kia EV9 long range. For a relatively base trim, this is loaded with features, and for an SUV under 60,000 bucks, this is an extremely comfortable vehicle. Although it's a relatively underpowered power plant, let's take it out for a drive and really see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Kia EV9 long range. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, the steering feels really sharp and on center. All the, especially electric vehicles from the Hyundai Kia lineup have had really good steering. Not to say that their gas engines also don't have really good steering, but just not quite as sharp and direct as this. Normal mode, about half throttle. Good response, but just not that much power for an SUV that weighs over 5,000 pounds. I believe around 5,300, 5,600 if you go for one of the top trims. Again, normal mode on the gas about halfway. I mean, it gets up and goes well. It's just once you pass about 40, 45 miles per hour, it doesn't really feel all that strong. One area where this SUV succeeds or exceeds heavily is the isolation. You run over these bumps, you feel nothing. These 60 series sidewall tires get rid of just about all the imperfection or feeling of imperfection from the road. These dual pane windows get rid of just about all wind noise. Like, just take a listen real quick. You don't hear anything. And at level 1 regen, it feels pretty similar to what you would get from a gas engine. It does use a little bit more regen than a gas engine, but not a whole lot more. We'll see if we can go below 1. No, 1 is the lowest for the settings. We'll try out another acceleration run as soon as we get the chance. I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, taking a step out here in sport. Ooh, good response in sport. The instant response is good, but again, once you cross about 25, 30, you really start to wish you had that second motor. We'll try out turning radius body roll test. Ooh, stepped out a little bit over there. So like the instant torque is good. You get that torque as soon as you touch the throttle pedal, whatever you want to call it, accelerator pedal. Turning radius is very sharp, really sharp. Hopefully you guys can pick it up on camera. Got some officers over there looking at me. Hopefully they don't follow me, but taking a step out here, light throttle, the torque feels really good for light throttle. When you lean into it, it's just not a whole lot left, but in light throttle, it feels really strong. And on concrete pavement, bumps, you don't hear anything, you don't feel anything. We reviewed the Nissan Z, a Nismo Z, and it had some super sticky tires. You heard everything on this road. Rocks flying up into the car. You don't even hear the slightest hint of that right now. Moving pull, like, yeah, the torque comes on instantly, if that makes sense. There just isn't that much of it. Try out another real world turning radius. This will show you just how tight this turning radius is. This is a very limited amount of space, but for this SUV, it's just more than enough. And taking a step out. Woo! Good torque, but as you see, that's just about all it's got. Not bad. I mean, it does get up and go fine. It's not a slow vehicle by any means. 0 to 60 in around 8 seconds, so it's not as quick as a Telluride. I hope you don't buy this expecting it to be, but if you go for one of the dual motor options, it'll blow the absolute doors off of any Telluride. So if you don't need V6, V8 levels of performance, you're more than happy with the like 4-cylinder turbo level performance. That's basically what you're getting here, but you're also getting a 4-cylinder worth of range as compared to the different trims as well, which is probably the reason why this will likely be the best seller for the EV6 lineup. On the gas. Woo. I mean, you look down and you're moving, it's just definitely not an overwhelming sensation of speed. Handling is good, the grip is good with these EV tires. It's the isolation from the road that's just unmatched. This is quite literally $100,000+ level vehicle level of isolation from the road. Take one out for a drive and you'll see exactly what I mean. This is quieter than any Telluride I've ever driven. This is quieter than any vehicle I've ever driven from the Hyundai Kia lineup. This might be the most luxurious vehicle of all time. Taking a step out here, another officer. Why are there so many officers out here? Good timing on the gas. Woo! Yeah, it's not going to blow you away, so really no reason to beat it up a whole lot further. I like sport mode because it gives you a little bit more sensitivity through the pedal, but at the end of the day, it's not really going to blow you away anyway, so it's not necessarily necessary to use sport. Let's try out this lane keep assist. I'll take my hands off of the wheel. I'll show you guys how this system works. Kia and Hyundai do some of the best lane keep assists in the business. Even with the line broken up, it still keeps us centered through the lane. Wonderful. And with this radar cruise control system, it's almost like a Tesla autopilot. So at the end of the day, the level of features, the level of refinement here for a first year model is really impressive. Throwing it in way quicker than we should. Body roll basically doesn't exist. Grip is good. Whew. There's just not enough power to break the wheels loose, which I guess is good, especially for a two-wheel drive SUV. overall, guys, if you're looking for a top-notch premium luxury SUV and you want it to be electric, you're not looking for gas, you want an electric luxury SUV, but you're not thrilled with seeing these EV prices. Some of these EVs from like the German competition, you see creeping over $120,000. This is quite literally half of that, while giving you just as refined of a ride, just as quiet of a ride, and just as good of quality of materials. No, it will not perform as good, but for 60,000 bucks, if you're okay with getting to 60 a second or two slower, I would 1000% recommend checking out the 2024 Kia EV9. And for an extra 3,000 or 4,000 bucks, I would recommend the long range over the standard light. And a big thanks to Carlos and the rest of the management and staff here at Century Kia in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Carlos. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.